What's good, YouTube? My name is Shakayla. Welcome to my channel, Manifesting with Karmic Psycho. If you are new here, thank you so much for checking out this video. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Like this video if you enjoyed it. And thanks so much for tuning in. And I hope that you become part of the spiritual family. Now, if you are a part of the spiritual family, welcome back. Big hearts go out to you guys. I am always so grateful and so humble that you guys continue to watch my content. And, you guys are a part of my family to me. So just drop something in the comments that you are grateful for today, okay? If you can see by the description and the title of this video, today is 2/22/2002, okay? And that day has been known to hold a lot of significance. One, because it's especially rare. It only happens once every 200 years, okay, guys? And just from a manifestation point of speaking, a lot of days that have angel numbers in them, people say that is a portal. What I really want to talk to you today is about how you can become a vibrational match for the things that you want to manifest in your life, the people, the places, the experiences, all of it, okay? And what day more special than a day as rare as today to talk about this, because we think that just because we make a wish on a specific day or at a specific time, then all of a sudden our manifestations are going to be granted. We even think if we take action towards those things, we even think that if we hope and wish and pray that eventually those manifestations will happen. But I want to tell you that although all those things do work together to ultimately have your manifestations come into fruition, the most important thing is how it is that you feel, your emotions on a regular, everyday basis. And this is why it's so important to be grounded, okay? This is why it's so important for your chakras to be aligned. And that is ultimately how you do become a vibrational match, is getting your chakras in alignment, starting with the root chakra. Your root chakra is our base chakra, is the foundation of who we are. It's where all of our fears are, the lack mindset. Pretty much if you don't believe in yourself, it's like if you don't stand for anything, then you fall for everything. And what that holds significance to as far as manifestation is your emotional. So to me, being ascendant and being high vibrational, being closer to the higher self of me, is really all about maintaining peace in my life, and not meaning that I'm omitted from any drama in my life, any chaos, any financial troubles. That is not what peace means. Peace, we can't buy our way into peace, okay? We can't necessarily buy our way into happiness. Although things like money make our lives more comfortable, even if you have the most money in the world, if you're somebody who's not grounded within themselves, when you get that money, you still won't be happy and you still won't be at peace, because it's found on the inside, okay? Think about that in a way of like how it is that we process our emotions based around every simple thing, everyday simple things and activities before we even jump into manifestation, okay? So say if I get up in the morning and I realize I overslept past my alarm. Immediately, I have two options of how it is that I emotionally want to channel my energy to have a solution, okay? I can just hurry up, get moving, and just direct my energy into moving quick enough so that I'm still not late for work. Or I can take a moment to be frustrated, even irritated, maybe shit on myself, like, oh, you always do this. If you wouldn't have stayed up late at night, then you wouldn't be late for this. Like having that moment, penalizing yourself, having negative talks towards yourself, instead of just saying, oops, sometimes I'm late. Let me just get going and get to where I need to be so that I can make it there in an adequate amount of time. Those are two options. So emotionally, you get to choose where it is that you want your emotions to go. And it is a practice. It's something that you have to practice doing, being in a vibrational match for what you want, okay? when we get into that negative space, we just attract more negativity into our lives. So now that you're pissed off that you're late for work, you're going to hit every last red light on the way there. You're going to get written up when you get to work. It's like the negativity just continues to manifest because that's what you believe it. Now, when you take little things that happen throughout your day and you see them just simply as a moment, as a hiccup, they don't bother you to the point where it's disturbing or disrupting your inner peace, then you're on the right track. So the next scenario is lunchtime, and I pulled up to McDonald's to get me something to eat, and I look at my bag and I realized, shit, I fucking forgot my debit card at home. Oh my God, what am I gonna do, right? How am I gonna eat lunch? Now I can do two things. I can be irritated with myself that I made such a careless mistake. Maybe I took it out to do something and then forgot to put it back in my bag later. Whatever the reason is, you have to be aware of where you are in the moment and the possible solutions that you have, and really just being in that moment, making yourself feel bad for whatever it was, is not geared towards a solution. It's just going to manifest more negativity into your life. You're probably going to have a shitty rest of your day at work because now you're salty because you about to be hungry all day. And then instead, you like, okay, well, what can I do instead? And then you remember that you look in your purse and you got a couple dollars, and then you remember that your job gets a discount at a certain restaurant, so you can use those couple dollars and still get a meal. Because you took your energy and start putting it towards a solution or something that's going to be benefiting to you, then automatically you open up this different pathway, this different perception of life and what it is that you could do differently that's all going to attract more positivity into your life, okay? So what I'm saying is that when situations happen in our life, whether they're on a small scale or a large scale, like if I got fired from my job today and all I can think of is how am I going to pay my bills? I don't have that much savings. Like instantly I can go into a whole like rant about how this can negatively impact me. Or in that moment, I could think about how this could be positive, how I had already been looking for a different job, how this is a blessing in disguise because I've been looking for somewhere else, how I can collect unemployment until I find another job because I've been working for this job for several years, so I'm able to get unemployment. Think about the positive things, that what it is that you're trying to manifest into your life. Just using your self-awareness in every given situation to think more positively, you're going to attract more good things into your life. You're going to be drawing in with your emotions what it is that you want to happen, okay? And it's really difficult, especially a lot of us weren't taught as children to have any control over our emotions. And that's not to say that you shouldn't feel how you should feel, but it's a good thing to stop and take a moment to say, is it worth this feeling? Okay. Or is it even really warranted? Okay. Like there's some moments where you should absolutely be sad or angry about something. But then there's some moments where it's like, how is this anger or sadness really benefiting me in this situation? Like, I just need to process those emotions. Like, okay, I am so angry that I left my card at home. Like, that is frustrating. Why am I frustrated? Because if I would have done what I normally do and just put my card back in my bag immediately, then this wouldn't happen. And then you can make a promise to yourself, a commitment to yourself to say, in future situations, when I take my card out of my bag, I'm going to immediately put it back in so this doesn't happen to me again. And that is what those past situations are for. They're not so that you can constantly, every time another thing similar to that happens to you, shit on yourself. It's so that you can use those experiences to do better and different in the future, which ultimately is going to create a better life for yourself. So let's jump into 222 and manifestation. So 222 2002, when you add those numbers up, it adds up into a number 3, okay? And you guys know, if you're watching my video, I'm going to post a video here about the vibrations of 3. Then you already know 3 is all about experiencing joy, pleasure. It's all about that inner child healing, okay? Those childhood wounds. A lot of them are tied to our finances. A lot of them are tied to just us feeling that we can't be happy or at peace at any given moment for PTSD or whatever reason. A couple weeks ago, I made a TikTok and I was talking about how, like, I'm not depressed. I just don't like to clean. And this was something that I personally had to figure out within myself, because I get extreme amount of anxiety when I have to clean up after I let my stuff stack up for a while. And between undiagnosed ADHD and then PTSD, I realized why I don't like to clean, and it has nothing to do with me being depressed, okay? Sometimes I am sad, sometimes I am in a funk, but that doesn't mean that I automatically have to lean into and claim that I'm depressed. Sometimes it's just because I had to realize that I grew up in an environment as a child where I was required to do a large amount of the household chores, the household work, to the point where now as an adult, I just don't enjoy it. Nothing about it satisfies me. I mean, sure, I feel good knowing that my apartment's clean and whatnot, but it's the emotional feelings and ties that I have to those acts that take me all the way back to a place where I was like 10 years old or even 7 years old, washing dishes for my entire family. And like, I don't like that feeling. So that's why I avoid those chores. Now that I got to the root of that problem, I can tell myself in a daily basis, like, you're not in that space anymore. You are safe. And if you feel extremely overwhelmed, these dishes can definitely wait until tomorrow. These laundry can wait until tomorrow. And then I start to build better habits around that now that I'm aware of the reason why I'm doing something, okay? And that allows me to have more joy in my everyday life, in my everyday moments, because I don't have this luminous cloud hanging over me saying, when am I going to clean up? Or, oh, you should clean up. I'm not going to make myself feel bad or penalize myself like my parents would have done when I was a child, okay? So we want to use this day to really deep dive into our inner childhood wounds, you know, and think about the reason behind a lot of things, why it is that we behave certain way, why we have certain habits, and what is actually blocking us from having joy in our life. Because when we find joy and gratitude in the little everyday things, like me just doing my makeup to get ready for this video, I felt so appreciative that no matter what I'm going through, because I work in the makeup industry, because I'm a makeup artist, because I work for Tarte Cosmetics, I have a surplus of makeup. Outside of it needing it to be the foundation, my exact shade, I'm low-key never gonna run out of makeup. And I felt actually really grateful for that, because even in situations where I need to budget better or my finances are not the way that they used to, where I could just buy every palette that came out, I just felt so grateful that, like, I'm just doing my makeup, getting ready, which is something so simple and mundane, but I found joy in that because it brings me peace. And I'm allowed to experience that peace anytime that I do my makeup. I don't have to, you know, shut myself off from that. And during this day, during this energy, you definitely want to take some time to think about the things that make you happy and actually indulge in them. It is safe for you to be happy now. Whatever things that happened to you in the past, that is the past. And the new version who you are right now, it's a totally new person. They technically, you right now have never been through any of those experiences, okay? Those things were just to teach you how to cope in situations, maybe even how to be a better friend, maybe to be more compassionate towards other people. There was always a reason for it, but the reason is not to limit your mindset or to stop your happiness. So getting into how our feelings and our emotions control our manifestations, okay? Your emotions are directly connected to your brain, how it is that you're thinking, okay? So say if I wake up happy and I'm in a good mood, then that's going to spark me to do more things that makes me happier in a good mood. Now, if I wake up and I'm like in a bad mood, maybe like extra sleepy or groggy, that's going to affect how it is that I take action in those next moments. Okay, so we want to set ourselves up for success by leaning into the emotions that promote wellness in our lives. And not to say, like I said earlier in the video, all emotions are normal. All emotions should be felt and processed. It's just you don't want to hold on to them. You want to hold on to the emotions that are tied to the things that you want. So that is how you become a vibrational match, how you get onto the frequency of the things that you want. So me personally, I'm manifesting a new home. I really want a backyard. I want a patio. I want my kids to have their own spaces. I want a nice space where me and my partner can work at. I want certain amenities that I don't currently have in my other place, like a gym or a pool. I still want to live close to the beach. Like right now, I'm not even 10 minutes away from a beach. And I want to be near nature where I can take walks and go nature and channel and do all those things. And when I think about those things, they fill me with like instant joy of like having them. So I think about them from that place. I don't think about them from a lack place of, I wish I had those things. I think about them and I feel them like it's already mine. And that is one of the ways that you become a vibrational match emotionally for what you want. Another thing that you can do is like go enjoy those experiences that bring you into those emotions for what it is that you want. So recently, me and my girlfriend, we've been doing like house hunting. Whenever we go out, like even if it's just for groceries, we'll drive around in certain neighborhoods that we like, just to see like what is available in our area, to think about the type of homes that we want. That puts us in a vibrational match. If you are like manifesting a new car, do test drives. Do as many test drives if you want. I don't care if you go to the dealership, another dealership every weekend just to test drive a car and trick them into thinking that you about to buy one. So what? Do it. Get in that car, feel around, look at the console, smell that new car smell, feel yourself with the emotions of what it was like if this was your car. Okay, you have to do this to get on that vibrational match emotionally. Now, another thing that you could do emotionally outside of just being mindful of your emotions is being present in the moment. A lot of us, I talk about this in a lot of my videos, but we either living in the past or we living in the future. We're very rarely just in tune with this exact moment and what's going on in our lives. So if I'm living in the past, I'm constantly comparing my current circumstance to my past circumstances, or I could possibly even be getting triggered by something that's happening in my current situation, and I keep relating it to the past or making me think or have those same emotions of the past. And the past is gone, baby. You can't do nothing about it. It's gone. There's nothing you can do to change it. None of those wishes, none of the sadness. It ain't gonna change none of it. Be right here in this moment and then ask yourself, why did this trigger me right now? Okay, that happened to me a long time ago, but why is it still upsetting me right now? Get to the root of that. And if that's something that you can't do, like actively ask questions with yourself, you need a therapist to help you walk through it. And your therapist ain't always your friend or your mom or your sister. Sometimes you need somebody that don't know you like that, that's going to give you non-biased advice, and that's going to help you not invalidate your feelings, but also not gaslight you either. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's something that you might need to do if you have trouble getting to the root of why things are triggering you. Because your triggers, they just keep bringing you back to the past, and like, that's no place that you want to be in. Now, there's a good amount of us that live in the future, and like, I know a bunch of people like this. I grew up around a bunch of people like this, and they will say what they would do when they got something. When I get the money for this, I'm gonna do that. You know, when I finally have it like this, I'm gonna do that. And they just wishfully think all day, which there's nothing wrong with wishing for things, but at one point in time, are you going to start taking action towards getting the things that you want? And in order to navigate into your future, even to loosely plan it, because y'all know I say God laughs at plans, you have to be in this present moment right now, doing the things that you need right now for your future self to benefit off of them. So at this very moment, why it's 2:22 and you're manifesting and you're writing journals and, you know, you're doing spell work, what are you doing right now, like fucking seriously, that's going to bring you closer to your future that it is that you're manifesting? Whether it's certain things, whether it's amount of money, whether it's amount of success or notoriety in your field, what are you doing right now to get to those things? Like, just being present in this moment. What could you be doing with the tools that you already have? And I don't want to hear the excuses. Like, my clients, I don't let them come to me with bullshit excuses of why they can't do anything, because the universe provides you exactly with what you need in this moment, nothing more and nothing less. So if you feel like you don't have the tools that you need, whether it is the contacts in your network, whether it's friends, whether it's love, whether if it's financial security, that is your ego talking. That is you comparing yourself to other people and their situations and what's going on, and thinking that you need to have more because you see other people doing it with more. That doesn't mean that it's not possible. That means that you need to get it together. And in order for us to receive more in a physical sense, we have to first be able to create that 6 energy, okay? We need that 6 energy of basically, one of my favorite readers, her name is Pisces High Priestess. I'm gonna tag her below, but she says these things, and she said it to me in a personal reading, and she'll say it sometimes in like the general readings about turning 9s into 6s. If you guys know anything about numerology, or if you know anything about tarot, okay, the energy of like 9 cards is usually like the almost there, okay? It's usually like one more thing you got to do, and then that it's like right before you close up a cycle, you know. And 6 is this energy of nurturing. It's this energy of care, compassion, unconditional love. So what you have to do to become a vibrational match for the things that you want is you got to turn those 9s into 6s. You got to turn those shoulda, coulda, wouldas, I wishes into I ams. What are you doing right now actively in this moment? Who are you being right now that is ultimately going to bring you closer to those goals and those manifestations? So on 2/22, you know, I wish you guys all of the best, all of the healing, love, abundance in your life, and for all of your manifestations to come true. But I just want you to be on that vibrational match. So last but not least, I am going to recommend a book. It was written by Neville Goddard in 1944, and it's called Feeling is the Secret. It is such a quick read. You can actually read it in an audiobook here on YouTube, which I'm going to tag in the description. And it's like 30 minutes of a listen, okay? It's totally worth your time. It's just really about being an energetic match with your emotions, and how it is that you can turn your thoughts into feelings, which are going to guide and lead your actions, okay? So definitely check out this book. It's the next book that I'll be doing in my Reading for the Wise series, okay? And I love you guys so much. Make sure that you join me on Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Meditation Monday, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace out.